ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। सुमुखश्च एकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णकः लंबोदरश्च विकटो विघ्नराजो विनायकः धूमकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षः फालचन्द्रो गजाननः वक्रतुण्डः शूर्पकर्णो हेरम्बः स्कन्दपूर्वजः शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। यस्य द्विरदवक्त्राभ्याः पारिषद्भ्याः परस्सतं विघ्नं निघ्नन्ति सततं विश्वक्सेनं तमाश्रये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय कृष्णाय अक्लिष्टकारिणे नमो वेदान्तवेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे कृष्णद्वैपायनं व्यासं सर्वभूतहिते रतं वेदाब्जभास्करं वन्दे समाधिनिलयं मुनिं जन्माद्यस्य यतः अन्वयात् इतरतश्च अर्थेषु अभिघ्नः स्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायः आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मः प्रोचितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवम् अत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम् श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैः ईश्वरः सद्यः हृदि अवरुध्यते अत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषिभिः तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखात् अमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः यं प्रव्रजन्तम् अनुपेतम् अपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवः अभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि यः स्वानुभावम् अखिलसुतिसारम् एकम् अध्यात्मदीपम् अतितितीर्षतां तमोन्धम संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यम् तं व्याससूनुम् उपयामि गुरुं मुनीनां नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्. With Bhagavan's grace, let us continue from where we left off in our last class. We came up to Slokam 54, Adhyayam 7 and Skandham number 4. 54th Slokam. Trayanam ekabhavanam yo na pasyati vai vidham sarvabhutatmanam brahman saha shantim adhikachati. Bhagavan says. Now Maitreya Uvacha. Maitreya is speaking from Slokam 55 through Slokam 61. With Bhagavan's grace we will take up today. That will take us to the conclusion or end of this Adhyayam. Slokam number 55. Evam Bhagavata tishtah prajapati patihi harim architva kratuna svena devan ubhayatah ayajat. Evam Bhagavata tishtah prajapati patihi harim architva kratuna svena devane abhayatah ubhayatah ayajat. Slokam number 55. Evam Bhagavata adishtah prajapati patihi harim architva kratuna svena devan ubhayatah ayachat. Those are the padangal. This way, now Bhagavan has given him an order, an instruction, a command to go ahead and say there is no difference between any one of us, right? So we understood, having been instructed, permitted, it's also by Bhagavan and also instructed and commanded by him, Adishtaha, the Patis of Prajapatihi, the leader of all the Prajapatigal, Dakshan, then he worshipped Sri Harim, Sri Bhagavan Hari, Sri Bhagavan Subhanarayana. He worshipped him, and then conducted the yagam, and through his yagam, then various aspects of the ahangal, we call it colloquially Sankopankam. Sankopankama, we must have heard this colloquially in Tamil language also. That means Sa Anga Upangam. That means with all the various paraphernalia, various rituals, various aspects of it, various parts of it, of concluding the yagam, everything, through all that. In other words, he did the yagam completely, properly, totally as prescribed, and he worshipped the various devatas as part of that yagam. Evam this way, Bhagavata Adishtaha, being commanded, instructed by Bhagavan, Bhagavata by Bhagavan, Prajapati Patihi, the Pati of Prajapatihi, the leader of Prajapatis is Dakshan, Harim Architva, Harim Architva, worshipping Sri Hari, Svena Kratuna, through his yagam. His yagam means what? He is a yajmana, right? Remember that, okay? Bruhaspatisavam, that is the yagam that is now is conducted. So, Svena Kratuna, Ubhayataha means both the Angangal and the Upangangal, which means conducting a yagam, there are main things that have to be done, main parts, and each part has got a sub-part in it. So various, all those. So Ubhayataha Devan Ayajat. Ayajat means to worship. And Ajat, Ayajat, all these means worship. The Ayajat is the grammatical form of saying past tense. He worshipped them. Devan, all the Devatas. Evam Bhagavata Tishtah Prajapati Patihi Harim Architva Kratuna Svena Devan Ubhayatah Ayajat. Now, number 56. Now, very peacefully, with a mind devoid of any agitations, because previously he was agitated through ego, through enmity, through hatred, so many things, right? Now, all those are gone. Shantam, his mind was very peaceful. Then he worshipped Rudra also, very peacefully, and offered the bhagam, the portion that was appropriate to be offered to him, that was to be offered to him. He did that, and then with all the various actions to be done in the yaganga, the various karmakal that had to be done, and also devakal, and plus all the others, everybody he worshipped, revered them, and conducted the various worshipful activities. Then, joining with the Purohitargal, with the Panditargal, then completed the yagam, and what is known as Avaprutam now. That means the one concluding karma, the activity in the yagam, that he completed. So basically, the yagam was completed successfully. Okay? After completing it, then he has to take the final bath and all that, all those, the various as prescribed. Okay? Slokam number 56. Rudram cha svena bhagena hi upadhavat samahitah karmana udavasanena somapan itaran api udavasya sahatvidbihi sasnau avamritam tataha. Rudram cha svena bhagena hi upadhavat samahitah karmana udavasanena somapan itaran api udavasya sagad vidbhihi sasnau avamrutam tataha samahitah, with very peaceful mind, peacefully. Rudram cha, to Rudran also, whom he previously derided, right? Now to him also. Svena bhagena upadhavat. Svena bhagena, the corresponding bhagam, the offering that is to be offered to him, through that upadhavat, he worshipped him. He offered him that very peacefully and reverentially. Then udavasanena karmana. Now udavasanena karmana means all the being, completing by the various actions that are now completed, by the completed actions, through the completed actions, through the fulfilled actions is better. Purti, correct word, not just completion but also fulfillment. Okay, it's been done correctly. So by all the various actions that have been fulfilled, Somapan itaran api. Somapan means Devagar, who takes Somapanam, itaran, others also. Upadhavat, he worshipped them. Tataha, after that, Ridvigbihi saha. Ridvigbihi saha. Ridvigbihi, along with the various Ritviks. Ritviks means Purohitagal, the Vedic Pandits, along with them. Udavasya, again fulfilling all the avabhritam sasnau. He completed the avapratasnanam, as we saw. Sasnau means snanam, the various bath that is prescribed at the end of the conclusion of the yagam. That also he completed. Rudram cha svena bhagena hi upadhavat samahitah karmana udavasanena somapan itaran api udavasya saha rudvigbihi sasnau avabhritam yataha. Slokam number 57. So yagam is now completed. So now completing a yagam is not easy. See, just say, for any good activity, there will always be obstacles will come. In this case, all obstacles are self-generated. And now completing that, and having completed this, now he is now in an exalted position, right? Spiritually, it's a very exalted position through its own, by worshipping Bhagavan, by worshipping Bhagavan, giving up, purifying his mind, refining his mind, becoming pure and peaceful, shantam. Obviously, an exalted state that he is. That is the reward that he got immediately by worshipping Bhagavan. And to that Dakshan, the Devagar, all the Devagar present there, and blessed him to continue and sustain. May he be nourished in the dharmic path. They blessed him like that, and reinforced his attitude towards following dharma through their blessings. And then they went back to their Devalokam. This Slokam number 57. Tasma api anubhavena svena yeva avaptara dhase dharma eva mati dhatva tridasaha te divam yayuhu. So, tasma api anubhavena svena yeva avaptara dhase dharma eva mati dhatva tridasaha te divam yayuhu. Now, svena anubhavena eva. Svena anubhavena eva. By the anubhavam, through the anubhavam that he has been granted, the experiencing Bhagavan, because the worship was done sincerely. Finally, isn't it? Forget the past. The present is, he is now purified and worshipping Bhagavan both in his mind, in his heart, and with all the angangal, everything together. That's what Bhagavan wants. Regardless of whoever you were, whatever you have done, once you surrender to him with a pure heart, then you are mine, is what Bhagavan says. So, Svena Anubhavena Avabdaradase, because of the worship and the attaining the result of this Santam, Prasantam, the mind is so peaceful, so blissful it is, and that is immediately he got that because of the worship. Tasmai, to that Dakshan, one who attained this, Te Tridasaha Api, those Devaragas also, Dharme Eva Matim Datva, so they granted him, they blessed him to have Dharma Buddhi Eva, only Dharma Buddhi, no Adharma Buddhi at all. In other words, a purified mind. They blessed him that. And Divam Yayuhu, they returned to, not returned, they went to Devalokam. Tasma api anubhavena svenayeva avaptaradase dharmayeva mati datva tridasaha te divam yayuhu. Number 58. Now, Maitreya is still speaking, right? He's the one narrating. He says, now, this way, the Sati Devi, the daughter of Daksha, she gave up her body. We saw that, right? And then she took birth in Himavan's wife, Menai. This is what we heard. This is what Maitreya now says beautifully. What happened to Sati Devi? She gave up the body, but then she was born as the daughter of Himavan and Menai. So she took birth there. So there's another avataram of Parvati Devi. Okay, Hemavati, Hema, right? So many names that we have. Himavan's daughter, and her mother's name was Mena. Evam Dakshayani Hitva Sati Purva Kalevaram Jajne Himavataha Kshetre Menayam iti Susruma, we heard. Okay, again it's a past tense in plural. Susruma, we heard this. What did he hear? Evam Dakshayani Hitva Sati Purva Kalevaram Jajne Himavataha Kshetre Menayam iti Susruma. The words are all very simple. Evam, thus, Dakshayani, the daughter of Daksha, Dakshayani, Sati Devi, Purva Kalevaram, Hitva, Purva Kalevaram, Purva, her previous body, Hitva, giving it up, Hitva, giving up the previous body, Himavataha Kshetre Menayam, Himavataha Kshetre, Himavataha, Himavan, Kshetre, at his house, to his wife, Menayam, to Menai, Jagye, she took birth. Thus, iti Susruma, this is what we heard. That's how it narrates it to Vidura. Evam Dakshayani Hitva Sati Purva Kalevaram Jagye Himavataha Kshetre Menayam iti Susruma. Number 59. Now, when we go to deep sleep and then we get up in our sleep, so night by night, beautiful sleep we had and get up. And while we are in deep sleep, we are completely unaware of everything. But then the moment I come back to Jagrata Avastha, they wake up, immediately I realize who I am and all that. In the same way that my own awareness and conscious, whatever it is, that immediately attaches to me as soon as I wake up from sleep, same way, that Parvati Devi, Sati Devi, when she took birth as Himavan's daughter, Himavan and Menai's daughter, it is like that. She continued without any other thought, only about Sivaperuman, and she married him again. Tameva dayitam bhuya avrinte patim ambika ananya bhavaika gatim shaktihi supneva purusham. Tameva dayitam bhuya avankrute patim ambika ananya bhavaika gatim shaktihi supteva purusham. Supta, the words are tam eva dayitam bhuya avrinte patim ambika ananya bhava eka gatim shaktihi supta eva purusham. So supta, one who is sleeping so soundly, completely immersed in the depths of sleep, then that Sakti that is there, Saktihi, Purusham iva, when he wakes up, immediately what does that Sakti do? That awareness attaches itself. Through that awareness only, I attach myself to myself. My mind attaches to the body, etc. That through the Sakti only. The Shakti was very much present. This is Prajna Shakti. This is the divine power in everyone, present in deep sleep, and also once I wake up, I immediately think I am so and so, etc., etc. Same Shakti. That the same way, Ambika, that Ambal, that Parvati Devi, Ananya Bhava, without any other thought at all, Bhuyaha again, Tam eva, that Sivaperumanaye, only to that Sivaperuman, Dayitam Patim, Dayitam, very loving Patim, husband, Dayitam Patim, Ekagatim Avrinte, that Dayitam Patim, Ekagatim Avrinte, that only that Sivaperuman, very lovingly, she again embraced him and as her own husband. But even in that birth, when she was born as Hemavati, from Dakshayani to Hemavati. Tameva daitam bhuja avrinte patim ambika ananya bhava eka gatim saktihi supta eva purusham. Number 60. Now, Swami, how do you know all this? The question comes. Maitreya is describing all this. So he gives answers here, without Vidura asking the question. He says, remember, Maitreya is Bruhaspati's son. Okay? And he says, Bruhaspati's disciple, Shishya, not son, sorry, Shishya. So, the Sivaperuman, he stopped the Daksha's Yagam, Bruhaspatisavam Yagam, to teach Daksha a lesson, an important lesson, and correct him, purify his mind, remove the impurity in his mind. For that purpose, he stopped the Yagam, right? And in the process, Daksha became pure, realized his mistake, and gave up his ego and arrogance and everything. And that Yagam, about that Yagam, that was stopped by Sivaperuman, that activity. Bruhaspati's, not Maitreya, but Uddhava. Okay, Uddhava was the Shishya of Bruhaspati, not Maitreya. I'm very sorry about that. Uddhava, remember? Uddhava was the one who was present with Krishna Bhagavan as he was leaving his body. At that time, Maitreya came there. Remember that, okay? We studied this earlier. We heard this earlier. At that time, Krishna Bhagavan was told Maitreya, okay, to go and teach the Atma Vidya to Vidura, to narrate everything to him. This was heard by Uddhava. So, and Uddhava's command, given to Uddhava was to go north, to go do tapas. And so, it is the same thing where current Badrinath is, in that area. So, Gandhamadana mountain, Gandhamadana hills, as it is called. So, when Vidura meets Uddhava, earlier on, if you recall, Uddhava tells him, this is what happened, Krishna, this is what happened, etc., etc., etc. Then he says, please, you tell me all the things that you learned from Krishna, what is the thing? Then he says, no, you're so fortunate, so blessed. Bhagavan, even when he was leaving his body, he remembered you. And he told Maitreya to tell you all the knowledge, to teach you. So go look for Maitreya. The command he has given me is to go and do tapas. So remember that conversation between Uddhava and Vidura. So here Maitreya now says that Uddhava, who is the Shishya of Bruhaspati, who is also a Bhagavad Bhakta, from him I heard about this action of Sivaperuman who stopped this yagam. Okay, that is what the meaning of the slokam is. Yetat Bhagavataha Samboho Karma, okay, Dakshat Varadrigaha Srutam Bhagavatat Sishyat Uddhavat Me Bruhaspatehe. Me Srutam Bruhaspatehe Sishyat, who is Bhagavatat Uddhavat, who is Bruhaspatehe Sishyat. That's grammatical, we'll come to it in a minute. Yetat Bhagavataha Samboho Karma Dakshat Vara Dhrigaha Srutam Bhagavatat Sishyat Uddhavat Me Bruhaspatehe. Dakshat Vara Dhrigaha. Dakshat Vara. Vara means Yagam. Dakshat Vara, Dakshas Yaham, Dakshat Yahatai in Tamil. Dhrigaha, one who stopped it. Not one, the stopping action. Okay. Bhagavataha Samboho Yetat Karma. Bhagavataha Samboho, Bhagavan, Sivaperuman, Yetat Karma, this action of Bhagavan Shiva, Sivaperuman, the stopping action, Sivaperuman stopping the action of stopping the Dakshas Yagam, that action, Bruhaspatehe, Bruhaspatinuடைய, Sishyat, Sishyan, Bhagavatat, Bhagavad Bhaktan, Uddhavat, that from Uddhava, Uddhavaradam irundu. Okay, so Sishyat, Bhagavatat, Uddhavat, Bruhaspatehe Sishyat, Bhagavatat, Uddhavat, that from that Uddhava, who is a Bhagavan Bhakta, who is also Sishya of Bruhaspati, from him, Uddhavat, from him, from Uddhava, me Sotham, it was heard by me. Etat Bhagavataha Samboho Karma Dakshat Varadruvaha Srutam Bhagavatat Sishyat Uddhavat Me Bruhaspatehe. Number 61. Then Maitreya says, a Kaurava, one who was born in the Kuru Vamsam, this action of Bhagavan, that Bhagavan, the Isa, every Avatara Purushan, the actions are important. Stories and glories, various activities, everything is a teaching only. Everything is a teaching. Please remember that. Absolute zero selfishness. And Bhagavan teaches through so many ways. Okay? And sometimes these actions are corrective actions. Okay? And so this action of Bhagavan, stopping the Daksha's yajnam, The story did not end there, remember, right? It's a very sacred activity, very gives fame, yes, the good, the noble fame, the reverence, okay? And hearing the story also gives longevity of life. And this story that also destroys all groups and the army of papangal that we are all carrying, not just one or two, but the whole lot of them. That this supreme action of Bhagavan, which man daily listens to it, imbibes it, the love, and also shares it with others, that person, his sin is destroyed. He removes his sin, all impurities are gone. That's the meaning of this slokam in 61. Idam pavitram param isa cheshtitam yasasyam ayushyam agaugha marshanam yo nityada akarnya naraha anukirtayete dhunoti agam kaurava bhakti bhavataha. Idam pavitram param isa cheshtitam yasasyam ayushyam agaugha marshanam yo nityada akarnya naraha anukirtayete dhunoti agam kaurava bhakti bhavataha. Now, those of you reading in English or Tamil in front of you, dhunoti agam. It is not aham. Aham means I. Agam means sin, impurity. Okay, agam. Please remember the difference. Note the difference if it's not clear to you. Kaurava, one who is born in the Kuruvamsam, a Vidura, pavitram, very sacred. Yasasyam, immediately the story itself gives a reverential fame, reputation. It tejas, it shines in brilliance. Ayushyam, granting longevity of life. Agaugamarshanam. Now, agamarshanam. Agau, again, agau means groups of impurities, papangal, sin. Okay, so any sin means any activity that is done without the company of Bhagavan, without keeping Bhagavan in mind is a sin. Even if I do worship, and even if I do Gayatri Mantram without thinking of Bhagavan in my mind, offering it to him, that is really agahada, that is impurity. Okay, so agamarshanam. Agamarshanam means it destroys. It destroys all the papangal. Idam param, this supreme, isa cheshtitam, the action of Bhagavan Shodharman. Yaha naraha, which man? Now again, sir, don't focus again only on Rudra and Virabhadra and all. The same entity appeared as Srimad Narayana also. Remember, okay, that Parabrahman. So he appears in different ways. He himself explained it. Please remember that, recall that, okay? So Bhagavan, one entity comes, and here you can see he was present as Brahmadeva and as Rudra, Virabhadra, with a job given for destruction and destroying and keeping things in balance. Also as Mahavishnu as protector. Then he also gave the darshan of the Parabrahman, the one entity that appears all these three. Remember, he explained all this to Daksha, okay? Please remember, recall that. So that is a cheshtikam. Yaha naraha, which man, nityada, always, daily, regularly, continuously, nityada, bhakti bhavataha, very lovingly, love towards Bhagavan, loving Bhagavan. Akarnya, karnaha means ears. Akarnya means bringing it into the ears. Not enough. What goes through the ears goes to the mind. Isn't it? For all of us. You hear something, immediately your mind is attached to it. So the mind must be completely attached to this with love. Lovingly listening to this and imbibing it. and anukirtayet, not only that, also shares it and describes this story, narrates it to others also, that person, agam dhunoti, his sin gets removed, gets destroyed, okay, gets nullified, eliminated. So he becomes a punyavan. Idam pavitram param isa cheshtitam yasasyam ayushyam aghaughamarshanam yo nityada akarnya narah anukirtayet dhunoti agam kaurava bhakti bhavatah. Iti Srimad Bhagavate Mahapurane Chaturtha Skandhe Daksha Yajna Sandhanam Nama Saptamo Adhyayah. Om Tat Sat. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Kayena Vacha Manasendriyarva Buddhyatmanava Prakrutehe Sabhavat Karomi Yadhyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanayeti Samarpayami. Om Tat Sat. Swasti Prajabhyaha Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahisaha Go Brahmanebhyaha Subhamastu Nityam Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Santit Santit Santihi. Harihi Om.